Welcome again to the Talking Pictures podcast with hosts Tony Toscano, CiCi Chambers, and Raquel Baldwin-Horton.
Okay, I just screwed the timing up for Kurt Bestor because he wanted me to do it 2 seconds, and then I did it 4.
This is a professional game.
It is. It's timing. Welcome to the Talking Pictures podcast. We are on the downhill slide toward Christmas, and with us today is the extremely enchanting and wonderful Kurt Bestor.
Oh, I thought you were talking about CiCi.
He's like,
well, you said it. I've never had extremely or enchanting use before. Thank you very much. It's nice to be here, everybody, and talking about.
We're freestyling today.
We're freestyle. Talk about Christmas might end in the picture.
Yeah, there you go. And to the other side of me is Chance LaPrey.
Always good to be here.
Yeah, well, Chance, what do you do?
I run a digital media and digital distribution company called Geek Factor Radio.
Yeah.
And he's a member.
And he's a male underwear model.
Not that. I mean, for private audience.
If Snapchat counts.
I mean, the fact that you and I both are like.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I had to think about that for a second because I used to.
You've been on Tinder again.
I've been swiping right.
Saw my Tinder profile.
Yeah. And then, of course, the enchanting and lovely CiCi Chambers is here.
I am CiCi Chambers, and
You got lovely.
I'm not.
You got lovely.
She's always on the defensive.
I'm always on the defensive.
Never believe when a woman goes, do these pants make my ass look fat?
Actually, in today's culture, you want to go, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It looks good.
We're starting there.
PHAT?
Merry Christmas, everybody. We're going to talk about
fat asses.
I'm going to LA tomorrow, and the guy's like, that I'm going to see that's bringing me there. He's like, can't wait to see you. You got the big booty coming off the plane, and I'm like, and he goes, and your personality, and I said, oh, you noticed my personality, did you? He's
so
like,
is your personality a carry-on?
Yeah, no, right.
you know what's weird is that in that sentence, I don't want to get too serious here, but in that sentence, you said something that guys never say. You know, maybe abs or something, but I mean, the fact that you're aware that some guys talking about your body parts is that's something that doesn't even come up in our world.
It's like taboo almost.
So you're not really like Trump, is what you're saying.
All right. I have been in locker rooms for 18 years of my life, and not once have I ever heard a guy talk like that.
I picked her up like a 6-pack.
Yeah, well, of course, as this is airing, President Trump is just
getting
sizing up the.
Do not say things into existence.
Yeah, this is pre-recorded.
Don't give it energy.
He's redoing the White House into gold plate.
I've been telling people all during the election, please vote, and vote often. So there.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm doing my bit.
Well, no, I was just asking about. I mean, the fact that you would bring that, someone would mention that. In this day of social media, people post pictures, and I'm constantly amazed, and I've seen some of yours on Facebook, and constantly amazed that there's always some guys that they just say things about your body.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
Yeah, we've actually talked about that, because Kurt messaged, can I bring up like when you messaged me?
Yeah.
That's right. So Kurt messages me, he's like, CiCi, I love you. I really enjoy your posts, but I hesitate to comment sometimes. And it's not you, sweetie. I love what you say. I love your sense of humor, blah, blah, blah. It's just my fans might have a problem with some of the people who are your fans.
Well, some of the guys, I mean, I don't know if you can Facebook from prison, but some of the guys that make comments on your page, it just kind of shocks me. It's like, you know.
They mention what they want to do.
You know what's
yeah. And that just,
really?
It just amazes me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's worse is what the women say to each other.
Yep.
Well, that's okay, right? Isn't that okay? Women could talk like that.
If they're good friends. If they're not, then you kind of have to keep your mouth shut.
Well,
And, I mean, that's the gentle way of putting it.
I'm saying is I feel empathy for women who post anything, any attractive picture or anything, because there's always going to be guys that just say stuff.
I love it that I can take a picture of myself and everybody thinks it's a cleavage shot, and I'm like, my boobs and I are not in the same zip code. Okay, I mean, that's just the way it is.
And crickets from the guys.
And this brings up is that there's a new it's a psychological profile of women who post all the time. These are shots, and they're not like, a straight shot like, hi, I'm here. It's like, here's this.
The MySpace angle.
Yeah, or it's them in underwear in a mirror. They're just posting anything to get a reaction. Have we come to that? I mean, do we need this?
I definitely think social media is serving, I don't know if it's a good purpose, but serving a purpose for some people, men and women, but a lot of women who aren't comfortable with themselves, but they put something out there, and then all the girls say, "Oh, you're so beautiful and sweet and wonderful," and the guys are saying slimy things, and I see it.
Not just that, but I'm sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay. Go on.
But I've seen women, and everybody's beautiful,
No,
and then nobody is. But I've seen what would be like.
Look, it's duck.
You put a duck in a bra and you take a picture of it. I'm talking about human beings. And then there's always one guy go, "Oh, you're gorgeous." I go, "No, you're not." What I think we should have a limit on pictures.
I say, that's a good effort.
Well, let's ask the geek in the room. So the whole concept of selfies. I remember when people would come to autograph signings or that I would do, or after a concert, and maybe one guy had a Fuji camera, and that was fun to take a picture. Now, my autographs, we were taking a selfie with now everybody has to have a picture, has to have a selfie. But the concept of selfie is a unique concept. And what purpose is it serving? The fact that, that I have to be in that picture.
Right.
What is the reason?
It proves you're there.
I know.
Yes, Miss Chambers.
My psych degree took to
Say you're psychic?
No, psych degree.
Oh, they said my psychic.
But that too. But anyway.
The tarot.
How'd you know? Anyway,
Lucky guess.
it's a means of saying you matter. And you exist in a world where you have no voice or very little recognition.
And it's actually, she's right, because it's a very interesting concept when you break it down to an entire mass populace, right? An entire mass populace of individuals who've been told their entire lives, you have to do this to get this, you have to do this to make it happen, you have to do this to get somewhere, and then none of that pays out.
Well, I do a selfie when I go to ABC.
That's your job.
That's my job.
Okay.
But my family stuff, like, we'll go to Universal Studios or we'll do this or do that. Those are family pictures, and I keep them like you would family pictures. I don't want to share those with the world,
Well, I think the newer generation wants to say, "Here's Disneyland, and I'm here.
I'm here. I made it."
Well, it's kind of like a small moment of confidence building and a small victory.
Okay.
Because this is speaking from a very one-centric point of view. I mean, I could break it away and try to talk about it from a Generation Y or Generation X. But from a millennial standpoint, you're in a position where you've been told your entire life, go to college, get a degree, make life happen, do this. You have to do this. You have to pay bills. You have to do something. We've been torn and pushed in so many directions where we've been beat up in one end or another.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been some severe psychological repercussions for the way millennials have been raised and raised themselves.
Try being Generation X, though, when you're raised on one hand to go to school, do something with your life, but you still have to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And once you finally get to the point where you realize to kick the man out because he's done nothing but hold you back, and work on your own stuff, now you realize you don't look a certain way, so you're losing out on the opportunities that you...
Yeah, but I think every generation has that. Just spit on chance.
No, they do, but what I was getting to is the fact that we were raised in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because, you Generation X, Generation Y came from moments of self-empowerment, right? Civil self-empowerment.
We call that microwaving.
Is it a battle for it's of space, so to
it's
speak?
more of a moment of existing. Like, it's like, it's like trying to prove to yourself that it's really trying to prove to yourself, not to anyone else.
Yeah.
It's no longer hey, look, we were at Disneyland. It's like, yeah, I was there. This was a good time. This is how I'm going to remember it.
Chance, I'm gonna for you and all your millennials. Next time you have your millennial con, I'm going to pay tribute to this generation because something's cool is happening, and I think this is really awesome because of what you just talked about. I'm going to use Uber as an example.
Sure.
the deconstruction of companies and approaches, things that you were told that this is how we do, you take a taxi. And your generation, that you guys say, nah, you know, we don't really feel a part of your generation.
Yeah.
Our generation, we're going to do it our way. And as a musician who used to sell music, I kind of was pissed off about that for a while.
Right.
But what I love about the millennials is they say, you know, we don't want to live in the suburbs. We want to live downtown. We want to go out to eat 3 times a week. We want to have a dog. We want to go skiing. We want to invent, I don't know, Facebook. We want to Uber. So I look forward to what your generation will do to Uber the government, to Uber world. I mean, I think big for you guys.
The entire generation is based around the idea of, if we see a problem, we're going to fix it, but we're not going to approach it from the 30-year standpoint. It's like, we need to fix this immediately. And that's also why, if you can even look at the voting trends, that's why, as a mass generation, it's, I mean, obviously we could break this down into like 3,000 different demographics, but as majority of generation, that's why we're behind Bernie Sanders, because it was like he wants to fix problems immediately, and that appeals to us greatly.
And he was wanting to do it outside the box.
Right.
And that's what I love about your generation.
Yeah.
I like all of our generations, but I do love that about the millennials. It's the guys that hang out in the coffee shop and think of cool things, and they go, why can't we do that?
Why not?
Our parents say no.
But the improvement of how we live, I mean, I think that comes from I mean, your generation gave us FedEx, you know, honestly. Because
which then bred to Amazon.
No, it's true. It's not. I'm just saying that
right.
There's particular moments in history. And you remember 1968.
Yeah, I do.
And that period of time, best year of music, by the way, 1968. I'm sorry about
Summer of Love.
Listen to any music that came out of there, from Jimi Hendrix to, I mean, that was a great year.
Dylan.
But the point of it is,
I'm an 80s girl, so I'm going to have to disagree with that.
Stuck in an 80s.
Sorry, that's where women were wearing their underwear on the outside of their clothes, if I remember.
I liked my jelly shoes. You leave those out of it.
And dancing on cars.
Well, that's
your white snake jacket.
Well, every generation gives something, but there are these moments, these little seminal little moments in time in history, and I think we're in one. We since 2008, when everything kind of went nuts, and that's when you guys were starting to graduate from college, and it's like, how are we supposed to do it? And guess what? And also use Facebook, Uber. Name your thing. Even in the movie business, you know, we are talking pictures here, but the movie business taken some amazing leaps in streaming
because it doesn't
movies.
cost. It
doesn't cost what it used
to. Doesn't cost what it
them.
used to.
Right.
Cameras are lighter, better. We can shoot movies on our phones.
And think about all these guys, like some of the local Utah guys that are making. They made the YouTube thing. What's his name down in Provo that was doing all the extreme stuff off of cliffs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That guy. If you know who you are, call us.
He does the viral.
Devin Supertramp.
Yep.
But no, think about that. That he's from that generation, making scums of money with sponsors and everything, and they just found a way to take something and do it. So yeah, to your point, in movies, you know, they make it work.
And what I really like, and we've never discussed it before, is that you can go to the internet on Google or whatever platform you're on and type in a problem you're having and find a solution for it that somebody has a video of, especially when we're editing or something like that. I go, how do I, and it shows me in 5 minutes, how do I do that?
It could be a software problem. I will tell you, I learned how to play a bull run. You know what a bull run is?
Yeah.
It's you know what a bull run is, Melania?
But I'm curious.
It's a drum, a Celtic drum that's played like this with a beater here, and it's a flat drum. If you ever watch Celtic movies, it's always fun. I bought one and I wanted to learn how to play it. I go on YouTube and I got like 1,000 different people wanting to teach me, and that's how I learned.
So we have this unlimited amount of information, and when it's used for that, it's great. But then again, I guess that's the good that you have to accept with the bad, which is
I know bad.
The social media structure is just crumbling.
Well,
it doesn't really work.
Well, not just in politics, but I spent 12 years getting
wonderful years.
Yeah, getting English and literature degrees. Okay, now I can read the hidden messages in anything, which
even if they're not there.
Yeah, I know, right?
They're there.
You know, guys that I date don't like that, but the FBI thought I had a very good for it. Anyway.
Really?
Yes. Really, I'll tell you about this sometime. But the thing is, I spent so many years at school learning how to write, learning how to do things, and then thankfully broadened into things like, oh, movie production, that looks pretty cool, something I've always wanted to learn about. And then I meet Tony, and there you go. But then you live in this bubble in school, and if you're really young with no kids and everything, you go out and you experiment and you learn new technologies. When you are married, as I was, and having kids, and you go to work, go to school, go to work, go to school, take care of kids, and that's all you do. You come out, I came out dumbstruck, and number one, at bloggers, because there's so much misinformation and people writing at a 3rd and 5th grade intellect that it ruined publishing, and people self-publishing books that had like 50 Shades of Grey is written in at like a 7th grade level. And it really killed an art for a lot of people, and like made us gainfully unemployable.
Well, I'm sure you can kind of attribute to that.
Well, I agree with you. We were talking about, there's so much stuff out there, but I will say, and maybe I'm the ultrist all the time, but I believe that cream rises to the top, and there is a need amidst all this just vomiting of information and vomiting of movies and there's some more crappy stuff out there. However, when something rises to the top, whether it be in movies or music or games or whatever you're into, there's always that thing that rises to the top that people appreciate. Some of the best movies that have ever been made right now, I think, some of the greatest movies are being made right now. But some of the crap.
But you have to kind of go through the muck. But we've always done that too.
That's always been a thing.
Well, there was a period of time though, Tony, where early on there was a movie that came out. Okay, the big movie was playing in the 20s or the 30s.
Yeah, sure.
And you had very few movies, and that was it. And you were spoon-fed. And then television, the same way, ABC, NBC. Now you have.
Yeah, we have a ton, but the competition has that itself weeds out all the terrible, and that's what brings the stuff to the top. It goes to talent. Just because you have a program that can help you write music doesn't mean you can write music.
Amen.
You have to have, and then but what that does, it does two things. One, it opens up the idea to somebody that, I need to understand structure. I need to go learn this. And secondly, it also says that the people that really do pay attention to the structure and understand what Bach and Beethoven is and their contributions, and appreciate the melodies and changes in rhythm throughout the eras that we're in, you understand that, and you cannot just create music.
Well, everything I look at that we're using a bunch of microphones here. We're using lots of equipment and cameras, but that doesn't make us say anything more. It still has to come out of our heads. When I'm writing music, I've got a better pencil than Mozart. Yeah. I have incredible equipment and things I can do, and I can get that song that I wrote out in front of people in a way that would take a year for Beethoven or somebody. However, to your point, the creative nugget still has to come out. And
it's like saying I've got a $30,000 hammer, but unless you know how to use it, what's the point? What's the point?
That's right, absolutely. Well, so it's an interesting time to be creating right now. Yeah. All of us are in the creative arts. We can get our stuff out quickly. We can make it with our $50,000 hammer.
You can share it,
but we still have to go to that creative place to make it as viable as Dickens or Beethoven or Spielberg. Trying to name your 1700s cinema guy. Anyway, it's an interesting time, and that's all I can say. Wow. Where do we started this podcast and we were off to the races.
Yeah, we hit the ground running.
Do we need to take a break?
No, we're good. Just let it roll.
We're letting it roll.
We are watching. If you're watching this, it's in the Christmas season.
We're about 3 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah. So there's which people assume that Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Now,
actually, Thanksgiving is my favorite.
Because your name's an anagram inside the word Christmas.
Do you enjoy giving gifts that you have personally made, or do you like running down the store and just getting something?
First of all, let me tell you how I shop, because I have very little time at Christmas to shop. I shop like with what I call with adrenaline. I go usually about the 23rd of December.
I'm a Christmas Eve shopper.
But this is not. See, don't feel guilt about that. Don't feel guilt.
Don't.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at CiCi because she's probably got hers done. But
I don't buy gifts.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Then.
Yeah.
But what I do is this is for my wife primarily, although my daughter's now getting this. I come up with a theme.
That's cool.
The theme last year was warmth. Now that sounds. What are you gonna buy? Well, I walk down the mall. What do I take a mall or a place? And I go and I walk in. I bought gloves because my wife's always cold. I bought gloves. I bought some candles. I just kept walking down and I found everything dealing to do with warmth. And then, and this is, I'm not saying this to make you think like I'm some uber evolved guy, but then what I do, and then it's not that much money. It's just thoughtful and it comes from this place of this thing. Then I write little poets, like haikus or limericks or poetry, and then no, but it's
Wow.
How do you really feel that?
Do you have an opinion?
Man,
Need some water?
She's choking on my
I'm tearing up
brilliance.
I'm thinking.
I'm just thinking. I'm gonna.
The reason I do it is it makes it fun on Christmas to read. Like, so I do a riddle and guess what's in the box. Sort of.
She does this. Oh, Curtis, thank you so much.
No,
You're so lovely.
No, my wife actually goes, I didn't want anything. You spent way too much money, because my wife is really third world. If she has one pair of shoes, she's happy. So it's terrible. What I do hate, and I'll let you guys opine about this, I don't like being told what somebody wants for their gift. In fact, I will not, if someone says, here's what I want, and it's on layaway over at the store, I will not get it. I won't get it.
I don't want anything warm. I don't want anything
Cold.
not gemstone related.
But what now?
You might not be getting a gift.
Let me ask.
See, I'm like you in this way. Is I spend all year listening, and then on the 24th, I know exactly what I'm going to buy, and I beat out all of the amateurs that I've already.
I get DVDs that he didn't give away to other people.
But are your gift receivers happy that you ignored what they said they wanted?
No, because I know what they want from conversations that they have. We don't work like that in my family. We have this, we want that.
Okay, I think that's great.
See, and I know he loves hot sauce, so every year I get him hot sauce.
Yeah.
Now,
and cufflinks.
Does anybody in this room live in that world where someone hands you? In my first regime, my first marriage, I had a person that would say, "Here's what I want, and here's my size, and it's available here." And I hated that. I didn't want to do that.
No, but I am the person that will give it back to you.
Really?
If I don't like it.
It's a gift.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
No, but it's
no. See, my ex-husband had this bad habit of spending a whole lot of money on himself. And you have your 5 languages of love. I'm kind of a mixture of all of them. And for me, thoughtfulness is a big part of it. And if you're not listening to things that I want and you don't know me, then don't get me something I don't want. And he would spend a lot of money on himself and nothing on me and get me something stupid. Like one year he bought me he gave me a leftover Hickory Farms cheese box that we had bought for our customers.
I'd throw that at it. I would not just
But in a third world country, that's a beautiful gift.
Yeah, I know. And you can use the casings to protect your feet from bot flies.
So I get that. That makes sense. So you're saying you basically you showed me by that cheese thing from Cracker Barrel, whatever it was, that you don't listen to me and that you don't care enough to care what I have said all year long.
Right.
Chase, I think Chase.
It's okay.
Chance, Chase, Mr. Lefray.
Yes. On the side of my head.
Do you? I don't know whether you're married or involved.
He's getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah. So.
Wait, she'll know by now.
She'll probably know.
She doesn't listen.
So what? Have you had an opportunity to buy gifts for this woman?
I have.
But how about Christmas?
We've done one Christmas together so far.
And what's her modus operandi?
And actually, she's a gamer too. It's actually how we met.
Oh, nice.
We met at Salt Lake Gaming Con. I was pressing
in person, not online.
Nope.
Oh, not in some dungeon.
Nope.
Nice.
But then it ended up. Now we're running dungeons together.
Oh, nice.
She was competitively cosplaying. So that's what her cosplay partner do. They compete competitively.
Wow.
And I was covering the event, and then we just met.
Is that with Nerf knives or something?
Actually, it's you build a costume, you build an outfit, and then they judge you on it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like authenticity, how close it is.
maybe
to source
Donald
material.
Trump will sponsor that pageant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, I don't think Donald Trump could handle that pageant. If you ever look at like the technical like degrees that these people go into to build these costumes,
I'm actually very impressed. So
The
it's
tensile
intense.
strength of spandex is amazing.
I have gone to Comic-Con. So and carry on.
yes, it's great. And so it was actually the first year we ran into this. I got her. So she's a hardcore League of Legends player, right? Hardcore. Like the girl she can hold her own against the best, and she would deny it to all ends. But there's always someone better in her eyes, and that's how it is, right? There's always someone better.
Humbly hip.
Yes. I actually ended up getting her $50 of riot points because she was just ranting and raving about all these holiday skins that she wanted that she wasn't sure if she was going to pick up or not.
Hang on. Holiday skins?
Okay, so for those of let me translate. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking pudding.
I'm thinking something from a horror movie.
Got to take a step back. In MOBAs, multiplayer online battle arenas is a genre of game. League of Legends, Dota 2, Overwatch is a...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, skins,
I know
the way
them
you
all.
paint your outfit.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, in Second Life, I used to buy skins.
Or Halo, how you decorate yourself.
Uh-huh. So in a video game, especially these games that they deal a lot in microtransactions, you can earn and buy these themed skins for your characters, right?
Are they working skins?
Yeah. So basically, they dress your character differently and they change the animations of their attacks and stuff like that. And they're actually worth a lot if you start have a big collection. And she's hardcore hoarder when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Wow.
And she wasn't sure if she was going to get them, but she really liked them. And it was a really small gift, but she loved it. So what I did is that I went online and I purchased all these skins that she wanted and then just sent them as a gift to her account. And then she opened it up randomly like a day before Christmas and just loved every second of it.
So you didn't spend time wrapping them up and putting a bow on something. I mean, this is all done with PayPal.
I do that.
A PayPal transaction online with her digital virtual skin.
And to go along with it,
the world is changing, man.
Got her a massive blanket. She's addicted to blankets. Yeah.
Warmth. I actually wrap gifts and stuff like that.
Do you keep the wrapping?
You wrap them?
Are you a wrapper keeper?
No,
Are you one of those?
I throw everything out.
My wife, being from third world country, her mother taught her to keep the wrapping. So when
You make clothes out of it.
our Christmas takes 6 hours to open the presents because we
You
have
have to peel
No,
it.
we do. We have
Peel
little
Letter openers?
we do. And it's like, I tore it. Oh, darling, carefully.
Use razor blades.
Yeah, so
Bags.
literally we're using the same paper since the 1950s.
Why
That's
does the
cool.
scene from Love Actually come to mind?
It's
I love her.
But
She
see,
taught your cold, hard wife how to love.
my gift to my family for Christmas and Thanksgiving too is I cook, and so we have this traditional kind of weird thing on Christmas Eve at midnight. We do this. My father used to make these sausages, and you're into Italian sausages. We do sausage and peppers, but I make them, and then we have a Christmas breakfast, a small Christmas breakfast. Who's ever left over from Christmas Eve who stayed over
after the presents, before the presents.
Oh, we actually, this has been so cool because my kids are older. We spend all day just ignoring the presents. And every so often we open one.
I have a 7-year-old. So it's done by 5 a.m.
But then I start preparing Christmas dinner, which is traditionally, my daughter likes a little ham. I like turkey. All of that. So we do a variety of things. And we usually have, you've been over too, because you've stayed overnight once.
Mm-hmm.
We have maybe 30, 40 people show up to my house. And these are all the people that don't have any place to go for Christmas.
Rub it in.
Well, but it's not, we don't point at you and say, you poor thing, here, eat this away from
Somebody
us.
take some
I'm
turkey to
single.
CiCi out in the garage.
But we've had some lovely,
CiCi's
Pamela
up front.
Berry. We've had a lot of people come over who just don't have a place to go.
That's nice.
And it's
That's
a
very
nice
cool.
place to go. And then we start watching Scrooged or something.
Well,
Yeah.
see, now you're talking now again about Christmas and Christmas. There's all this there's so many nuances to Christmas. I love the fact that you bring it. You always do this. I admire that. I don't know your family, but you make it sound so inviting with the food
Everybody's family.
and coming around. But not everybody has those kind of wonderful Christmases.
Do you know how many ex-wives he has?
I don't know. I've done big love
in the
one wife at a
30s.
time. So.
No,
It's a joke. It's like when people get adopted into the family, it's my ex-wife.
I always introduce people as
That
my
is true.
ex-wife.
Oh, well,
I've introduced, I think, Chance as my ex-wife.
I was jumping in that because I have 2 ex-wives.
Well,
I was honored, but I never saw a cut.
oh, you don't get a cut.
Oh, dang.
You know, the worst time of Christmas, though, the worst time for me is later that night. When the house is a mess, people have left. Christmas, they show Christmas movies, but you're not into those really anymore. I mean, that's the hardest time. Christmas Eve is magical, but Christmas Day, night is.
Well, that's why we get
Spread
together
it out.
and we have food, and then we play these incredible card games that are really nasty.
Oh, they
Like,
are.
Card Against
It's just
Humanity.
delicious.
We've graduated to Crabs Against Humanity.
You guys
It's
have
great,
to come
yeah.
over this year and
Okay.
play.
Yeah, so
For
I mean, we
dessert.
play these
Crabs
disgusting
Against
games,
Oh, sweet. Jesus' birthday play.
and then, but we go on till midnight, you know, because it's like I said, it just wraps up the day.
So you missed my show in Park City on the 25th?
Yeah, I do, but we would have missed it anyway. No, the other thing too that we do is weird. We do Big Christmas, Little Christmas. And Big Christmas is we do a lot of gifts and everything. Little Christmas is when we don't give each other a lot of stuff. You have to make something, and you have to pitch into the dinner and all of that. And so we're on, I think this is Little Christmas this year. So everybody's going to be in the
Oh,
kitchen.
Oh, so it alternates.
Yeah.
I thought you did the same. Oh, that's nice.
Big
So do
Christmas,
the
Little
kids
Christmas.
go, oh, it's a little Christmas?
Well,
Oh,
no,
it's-
but they find it's just really a lot of fun because it doesn't put pressure on you to get things for people and all of that, and it's a time where you can, you know, we put a limit on the gifts, like $10, $20 is it, you know, but because by the time you're buying, we have a big family. By the time you're buying for everybody, it's $200 a piece. You can't. Who can
What about
afford that?
regifting?
I love regifting.
So
I still have a gift
so do
certificate
I.
Katie gave me 4 years ago from 2008.
There you go. And I love the label maker I got.
I see nothing wrong with regifting unless it's a real personal gift. But if it's just something that somebody took the label off, wrapped, and gave it to you, and you've already got 3 of them,
I've
I
ended
see
up with
nothing
a
wrong
Frosty
with
the Snowman cookie plate 4 times. It's the same one.
It becomes like who gets it.
It's pretty much what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
It's the what is it? The fruit?
The fruitcake. Yeah.
The fruitcake.
White
Yeah.
elephant type
Do you
of
like
thing.
fruitcake, CiCi?
I like mine, but I can't eat red dye, so I can't do like
Yeah, I'm
Can't
not a
do
big.
Mike and Ike's.
My mother used to make fruitcakes that were amazing.
With all the little.
Well, yeah, with the little
soaked in rum.
and soaked in anisette, which is a liquor.
Yeah, one
a licorice liquor.
Licorice, yeah, it's like
It's from Annis.
yeah,
They
that's
said
it.
Anison.
Yeah,
soaked in anisette.
She's soaked in a 1980s pain reliever.
Being married to an English descent person, my wife from Kenya, of English. The very first year we dated, we were going to Sun Valley to celebrate, and I decided to go buy all these Christmas things from England. I was going to get the bread pudding and all this stuff, and I thought, let's see, they do Christmas crackers. Man, I went to every store looking down the
Tuesday morning.
the food aisle for Christmas crackers.
They're
No,
poppers.
That's what. See, you know what they were. I thought they were crackers. So I'm going down Nabisco Christmas crackers. Where am I going to find these crackers? I can't find these freaking crackers.
Just killing you.
Yeah, they're called poppers.
Yeah, they're little.
Yeah,
poppers.
I know what they are.
Yeah.
But well, you guys are obviously smarter than I was because it took me like 2 days.
Does your
before-
wife make Yorkshire pudding?
Does she make spotted dick?
Let me explain. To
He's
people
giggling
watching.
at Yorkshire pudding.
No. My first one. There's 2 funny things. Number one, my wife is a good cook, but never cooks. I cook everything. Secondly, we have a discussion, she and I, about English food. And my theory is that English food, of which spotted dick is one, and I'll explain what it is. It's not a disease you need to go get fixed. But
It is, but it's not what
The
we're
bot
doing.
lies got away.
English food, because
I hate getting spotted dick pics on Facebook, by the way.
Well, think about it.
Facebook? Who are you following?
Poor Kurt. He's like, I could have just.
No, I'm just trying to
Just
keep.
English
I'm just
humor.
trying to keep it above board here.
You don't have to. It's cable.
Oh well, there you go. So fuck it then. No. I
There's the title of your new album. Fuck it.
The
Thanksgiving.
We're
album.
talking about English food. Let me just chat with the folks. We're talking about English food. English food comes out of the Middle Ages. Thus, it doesn't have the Madison Avenue advertising slick names.
Or flavor.
Or flavor. Yeah, and you could tell why British food isn't that popular, because there are no restaurants, really. You don't say, let's go to get English food. If you go to England, the English food there, it's Indian. Yeah. But the thing about it, when you watch Wimbledon, what do they eat? What do they eat at the intermission?
Subway.
They eat, well, probably, but they have clotted cream. Yeah, clotted cream. And
I do too, by the way.
Clotted cream and strawberries.
It's blood and cream.
No, it's clotted cream is like a heavy cream. But
Okay.
they call it clotted, and I told my wife, I said,
Sure.
and spotted dick is like it's a pudding, like we call dessert. It's a dessert, and it's got a little bready kind of. It's like bread pudding kind of.
Traditionally, it's like made like a jelly roll with raisins.
Yeah.
And then you roll it up, and it's got cream in it.
Yeah, I have no idea where the name comes from, but so my point is English food. It's they also call mincemeat over there. You know what mincemeat is? What do we call mincemeat? What's our mincemeat in America?
Corned beef hash.
No, that's what they call it. Our mincemeat.
Our mincemeat is
it's like raisins.
And
pecans and
Yeah.
dates.
like a mincemeat pie.
Over there, when my wife goes, Kurt, can you
Dates.
go to the store and get me some mincemeat? She means hamburger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Minced meat.
It's confusing.
that's exactly what it is.
So I'm in England, and I'm staying at the Dorchester. I'm doing a couple of movies out there, and I love. By the way, I love England.
It's a nice place.
It's a nice place, but nobody can cook. And I know we're going overtime on this.
No, that's fine. I'm just looking at Chance going, can we have a long episode?
Yeah, let's do a long episode.
Fine, I got
All
time.
right, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm there, and two things happened at the Dorchester. One is I ordered a steak one night, and I asked
Wait,
for.
is this that episode?
No. I ordered a steak,
Yeah.
and I asked for A1 sauce.
Oh,
and the waiter goes, A1 sauce? I went, yeah, A1. It's I tried to describe it, and I'm doing the best I can. It's you put it on your steak, it enhances. A1, so we don't. You invented it here, And he goes, oh, After about 10 minutes of this, he goes, oh, you mean brown sauce?
Yeah, brown sauce.
Okay.
Brown sauce.
Now, you're obviously dicking with me here because
Spotted dicking with you?
Yeah, spotted dicking. You have the internet. You know what these things are. You've seen a movie.
Well, they have Worcestershire that they use more.
Which they don't call it that.
No, they don't call it that.
They call it Worcester.
Worcester.
My wife and I have that conversation all the time. It's like, honey, I need to get some Worcestershire. And I've worked really hard to pronounce Worcestershire, which I thought was the way you'd say it. She goes, no, they say Worcester. I said, yeah, but it's got a SHIRE on the end.
Land of Worcester.
Yeah, but at that point, and then we have conversations about the language all the time, and I lose everyone. You know why? Because what she ends the conversation with is, well, Kurt, what's the name of the language?
English.
Yeah,
That's
it's like I give up.
Actually, I have a rebuttal for you.
American.
Oh well, good. I want to hear a rebuttal because I seriously need.
Okay, what our in America we speak English, right?
America.
Right.
In America we speak
America.
English. Actually, I'm from Nashville, so it sounded like we were speaking English, right?
We
Yeah.
speak U.S. English.
No, it's actually English. In Britain, they speak Anglo.
Oh, is that what we call it?
Yep.
Nice.
Because they're now
Anglo-Saxon.
they're now physically two different languages.
Have you spent time in England?
I've never been there.
I have.
Have you?
Many
Of course you
And
have.
I was
I've
an
never been out of
Anglophile.
the country.
An English breakfast.
I hate it. I would love to go.
An English breakfast
Man.
looks like it would be one of the best things in the world to have, until you get to the bacon, because the bacon is always like wet.
How do you make bacon wet?
I asked.
You don't
I said-
cook it.
I said, look, can I go to the kitchen? Can I see what you're doing? And they're back there, and they're boiling bacon. And I went,
Stop
okay,
it.
now we're gonna try something new here, boys. Get a frying pan and throw and they just looked at me and get a frying pan and throw some bacon in and get it
Crispy.
And on that day, Tony changed the entire bacon world.
Doctor Who came in and
After
said no!
2,000 years.
I became Lord of the Bacon.
They call it Toscano.
They had, and the thing is that you're culinary, you're on the internet, you see things, you know how to make bacon.
You just blow their minds all over the wall.
No, it was like
But
nobody.
they've
ever,
been doing that since the Druids put up
nobody
Stonehenge.
ever asked
Right.
us to, and I said, "Well, I'm asking you to do it this way, please."
See, one more thing that we
I
Americans...
want ice in my drink.
I go there, when I've been in England, I've been there many times for music things. what I hate to see, unfortunately, I hate to see McDonald's and all of the Kentucky Fried Chicken. I want to see their culture. I want to.
We have Salt Lake. We have Britons. It's a great little.
Yeah, but I mean, but a point is that we go to these other countries and we bring our culture as opposed to enjoying their culture. So when I have an English breakfast, I don't have bacon. I have what they call their sausages, English sausages.
Yes, it's really good.
They're very good. They're not like ours, which
but
I also
they're not
like.
tasty.
Bangers.
Well, bangers. That's right. Bangers and
they're not. They don't have the same type of flavoring that you're used to. So you have to kind of get used to it.
Well, you're meant to mix it all up.
Yeah. Right.
We're on a whole different subject, and I don't want to go too long with this, but eating over there is, it's not only what you eat, it's how you eat. It's putting your fork upside down and smashing things on it. But if you ate an English breakfast every morning, you would be 1,000 pounds. It's massive.
You'd be dead.
Well, you're not supposed to eat a ton. It's like
no, you are.
Eat a couple slices of tomato, which was the vitamin C, because they didn't have oranges.
No, they didn't eat tomatoes until.
But I'm an American, so I like vast quantities.
Right. Well, you like to feel comfortable with a trough.
I had fun when I was in London, and they're kind of rude, but I fit in. But no.
Because you're an American.
Yeah, that's right. I'm American.
All you can eat, sir.
Well, the English. The thing about English is that they, and again, I play squash. I'm an English guy somehow.
Anglophile.
But I play squash with a bunch of British guys here. My wife's English descent, and there's an interesting thing. This accent that they have, which immediately gives them supposedly a higher IQ. It doesn't technically, but we perceive it as.
It makes men sexy too.
Well, see, but this is the part that pisses me off, CiCi, because when people come, when we go. People come here and they listen to my wife speak. I just love your accent. Say my name, or say, my wife will say, "God, can you take the garbage out?" But when I go to England or some other place, not one person says, "Hey, let me hear you use that sexy American accent."
I got that, and when I was there. Okay,
well, it's probably because you're CiCi.
I can go from nasally to somewhat.
Sure.
Yeah. So we went
to saxophone operator.
Yeah. Well, my ex-boyfriend at the time, I was staying with his mom. His mom.
Not a mom.
And I love her. We're still in touch. And in fact, his former best friend is now one of my good friends. So yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, so I'm there, and I wanted fish and chips. I have never been happier in my life than when I'm on a movie set, or when I was in a period. Bar none.
With the inside the newspaper, right? The chips,
yeah.
chips.
So we go into a
which
shop.
are fries, by the way.
Well, there's like a series of shops, everything's kind of neighborhood, I think. So I go into one shop, and it's owned by the Hungarians, and they're kind of asshole-ish to everybody. And I'm like looking around for Diet Coke, and I had been running. So I went in, and I had my shirt unzipped a little bit, and...
As one does.
when one is CiCi.
Right, exactly.
Well, I was running, and I'm like all sweaty, and I go in, and they're like, "Do you need help?" And I'm like, I just like a Diet Coke. And they're just like, "Oh my God, look how cute!" These giant men are like, "Oh, I love your accent. Talk. Just keep talking."
You've got that. They like your American accent.
Yeah, and they drove into London, across the bridge, paid the ferry toll, came back just to get me Diet Coke.
Wow.
I don't know if that probably had more to do with your zipping.
I don't know. But then I went next door to the fish shop, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm buying some fish for everybody, I guess. I'm thinking of American size Long John Silver's, like
fillets.
This big, So I'm like, I don't know. It's just a snack, maybe 3 pieces. And they're looking at me like, 3?
It's like,
and I'm like, well, I'm gonna share, and my ex-boyfriend's like, "Come on, Crystal, it's just so bloody expensive." And I'm like, just let me enjoy. And so I'm like, yeah, I guess, I don't know, a medium, a small 2. And they're like, and they just thought I was just so nice. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so nice. You just keep talking." They gave me 3, which their pieces of fish are like this. It's like a whole side of a haddock.
oh yeah, no, it's.
And like all the chips that I could carry, and like the tartar sauce, and they were like, I'm like, "Well, how much do you have tartar sauce and sauce?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "Come on, Crystal, it's £1 per. It's too expensive." And I'm like, "Well, I just want a couple, And they're sitting there looking at him and going, "We like her," and giving me bags of stuff. And it was like that everywhere I went.
Well, see, now we're probably not talking about. You're talking about the fact that you are using your feminine wiles to.
I'm CiCi.
Yeah.
Let's call it like it is.
I have a feeling that's really what got
Okay,
you.
but fess up. Has there ever been a time when you've used your fame?
No, I tried the other day. I will tell you exactly what happened. That's very interesting that you bring that up. I was driving exceedingly fast down I-15 up near Box Elder, and I was in a hurry, and so I got pulled over. The guy, so I think, okay, hey, how are you? He goes, Kurt Bestor. Yeah, nice to meet you. So I'm just throwing on the smile and the charm. I can't
lay it on thick.
Yeah, I mean, and I must say, I'm so sorry.
Sparkle on his
I
knee.
said, I'm so sorry that I was going so fast. I really apologize. I'm late for a TV interview.
Yeah, you just want to
It doesn't.
stack that card.
Then he goes back to his car, and I it's really nice. I fessed up to it,
Right.
threw in a couple of little subtle things. He comes back, gives me the full ticket, and then says to me, by the way, my wife loves your music. That was like the worst. He gave me the ticket, and then he said his wife liked my music, and it's like I got no
He was
satisfaction.
punishing you because you have the Christmas CDs that she kills him.
Maybe that was maybe he was jealous that his wife liked me. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know.
She
Maybe
calls him Kurt.
it didn't help that I was going 90 miles an hour.
That's it.
That didn't help.
No, well, in a construction zone. On the
I did
freeway.
120 through Beaver.
And you probably talked your way out of it. Yeah, see, and so when
Was I going?
there
that
are a
way?
few things that
Oh no, I
women.
admitted it. He's like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I'm listening to Robin Williams. I had my girlfriend pull her shirt down. Like, cheerleader butt.
This is the world we live in.
And he goes, "Hey, if you're gonna pay me 30 cents less, I'm gonna use it." And
So do you think that President Clinton?
Are we forecasting that now?
Do you think that she'll use some of those tricks when she negotiates with certain?
And I think that's what scares men. If we're going to stick to that topic, I think men only respect women who have approval of other men, who act like a man, but then they call her a bitch because she acts just like a guy.
Yeah, we're being really quiet now because
Yeah, 'cause
we don't know what to say. We're going to sound,
I
You
got
think
my feminist
pantsuits are
soapbox
sexy?
right now.
I think
We hang out with a lot different women,
Do
apparently.
you? Well, here's the president of the United States saying, "Do these pants make me look fat?" America.
I bet she always says, well, she used to before
No,
the
pantsuit.
menopause, said, I'm feeling a little bloated today. Everybody says that. And I bet
I would
So
imagine
Bill will be first lady.
Yes, he will.
he is. He is.
Yeah.
He was first lady in office.
Anyway,
he'll
I'll
be
take the
the
first lady.
husband.
He'll be the first husband.
they've come up with some cute name. I can't remember what it is. They've come up with some name to call him rather than first husband. There's something, main man or
Lotus.
America's
the top,
bitch.
He's the main man.
the top dude or something like that.
The top bill.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so we have time. We have about 10 minutes left. Christmas movies.
Yeah.
There's a bunch, right?
What's your favorite?
Well, I'm sick and tired of A Christmas Story. I mean, it's been like when they put it on 24 hours a day, a week before Christmas. That was it. That was just.
That was the nail in the coffin.
But you're gonna really laugh because it kind of combines Christmas and horror. The Kraken.
Yeah.
It was a great film. It was so much fun to watch, and it's
Is that the Kraken?
uh,
The one about the big octopus, you think?
no
Octopus?
You mean Krampus?
the Krampus.
You mean Krampus.
Let loose the
Krampus is what I meant. Edit
Let
this.
loose the fucking
So the Liam Neeson.
10,000 souls.
Let loose the Kraken. The Kraken has a particular set of
Skills.
skills.
I was hoping to use my black spot marker martini too.
Krampus.
That Krampus, okay.
Yes.
Good little film there, a lot of fun. And there's a couple of weird ones like Christmas Evil.
Yeah.
I never tire of the Grinch.
The Grinch.
And I like
the real version of the cartoon.
Well, I like the real one. Even though I know the cartoon.
It's
the
a half
anime.
hour.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Cut
it.
and dry.
And I love, I get a little tear in my eye when she starts singing at the end, little Cindy Lou Who. I mean, and I do like Jim Carrey's version. I think he did an amazing version.
And the Mr. Magoo Christmas Carol.
that was fun. Yeah, that's
I like
a
that
fun
one.
And I will tell you one other thing. It's the Charlie Brown Christmas music.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown Christmas
that.
music If I had a piano, I'd play it. But that I have done an arrangement of that I do on my Christmas show.
I think I have a piano app.
Christmas time is here, da da dee da da. You hear that, and everybody just goes, "Ah." You know?
Even though it's like the saddest phrase of music in history.
The worst Christmas movie.
You never heard any Hanukkah music.
Well, you do because Adam Sandler
8 Days
writes
of
it.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 Days of Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Wow.
8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah.
But the worst Christmas movie was Tim Allen did something called Christmas with the Cranks. It was just horrible.
And Bad Santa. That was not a favorite of mine either.
Billy Bob
Thornton.
Yeah,
There's the second one coming out.
But Santa Claus was cute, the first one.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians with Pia Zadora is.
How about the Elf?
Elf? I love Elf.
The Elf. Love Elf.
That's Will Ferrell when he was actually doing good work.
Die Hard.
So those modern,
Die Hard.
those modern movies, those modern Christmas movies that have taken place at Christmas.
Miracle
Story.
on 34th Street.
Ooh.
And that's still a nice
Which
one.
starts at Thanksgiving. Literally, in the movie.
So we can count that as a Thanksgiving movie?
Well, kind of, yeah.
Sort of.
They're shopping on Black Friday at Macy's.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, there is a host of. I do like. I think you mentioned this at the beginning of this. You were talking about the Christmas Story, or Christmas Carol.
All the Christmas carols.
Yeah, and I do love that. And nobody's thought of the one with the guy with the face right. Remember, I was trying to.
Nope.
I looked it up, but I didn't see him on that.
No, it just has his name. I'll think of it.
Well, when was it done? Was it done?
It was done. No, it was done in like 1980.
Oh, that was George C. Scott.
No, another one. Close after.
Oh no, the comedian guy that has the little alcoholic nose. Talks like
talks like
Buddy Epson.
It's that guy.
You're talking about
Hey, call in if
Buddy
you know the answer.
Hackett?
This isn't live.
Buddy Hackett.
Buddy
No, it's
Hackett.
not.
Buddy Hackett.
Buddy Hackett.
Buddy Hackett was in the
It's not.
Scrooge.
All right, I'm getting out my smartphone because it's obviously smarter than I am.
You know, my favorite Christmas movie is actually White Christmas.
Really?
Yep.
With Bing Crosby.
Love it.
Great song from that movie.
Snow.
Which, by the way, was that
Holiday
the
Inn.
Christmas song? Was that?
I love
What did that
Holiday
come?
Inn.
White Christmas. That was
Yeah.
Irving Berlin.
Guess when that was written?
That was written in 1941.
What time of year?
It was in summer.
It was, and they were playing. The composer and the lyricist were playing tennis in L.A. and it was hot.
Yeah, and he
Really?
Yeah. Think of the line from the verse. I can't
think of a line from the verse.
the verse of the song. Hot in a 20. Nobody ever sings the verse.
Right.
I'm dreaming. They go right to that. But there's a line that I can't remember either. But
It's August in
in L.A. It's 95 degrees.
But I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes into that. So it's a preamble to the song.
So they came in.
George C. Scott?
No, it's not George C. Scott. But they came in from playing tennis, and the lyricist had a bunch of couplets of chestnuts roasting, Jack Frost nipping. He had a bunch of things. He was writing a song, and who wrote the song? I'm having such a...
the Christmas song? What's his name?
Irving Berlin?
No, Mel Torme.
Mel Torme. So Mel Torme comes in, he looks at the couplet, and he says, man, we got a song right here. Chestnuts,
I don't know.
and they literally wrote the song in their tennis clothes in Los Angeles in the hot summer.
And it killed.
And it killed. It's probably the number one most requested.
And that's the thing.
That and Silent Night.
The other Christmas movie everybody loves is It's a Wonderful Life, but it's not a Christmas movie. It was never meant to be. What happened was they released that in August, and those were the days when they weren't putting out a lot of movies, and so and the studios owned their own theaters.
Sure.
So it ran until Christmas, and then people started seeing it around Christmas
Because it kept hitting.
and that's when it exploded.
Right.
It was the Frank Capra movie.
Was it a big movie at the theater before?
No, it was just people were. They kept the movies in theaters for a year. The last time that was done in modern times was Titanic. No, Titanic was kept almost a year and a half in
So
theaters.
Pirates.
Well, maybe, but
And the Avengers.
nah,
The Avengers ran for 9 months.
really?
Yeah.
But they want them on DVD right away.
That was the crazy part. They literally had kept it out for 9 months as it came out in May.
You know the fastest a movie's ever been from theater to video?
7 days, the perfect match.
You'll never get this.
Who's this guy? This is the guy I'm thinking about. I can't remember his name.
I have no idea.
I have no idea who that is.
Who's this guy?
Dad?
No.
Why can't you just get the name of the guy? There's a cast list.
I know, but I can't find the right one.
Oh, here. What is
All
it? What year was it made?
I'm looking, and the podcast has come to a screeching halt while we look.
We'll look it up. We'll look it up. If anybody can tell.
If anybody knows who that is,
Now's your
call in on our taped show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can write. They can write.
comments, rights, emails.
But yeah,
Okay.
the fastest movie ever to go from theater to and it was this is how long it is. It was VHS.
Okay.
Was Godzilla 1985?
Really?
1 month. It was on VHS. Yeah,
Wow.
That's terrible.
that was see the movies.
So, what about you? Favorite Christmas movie?
White Christmas. White Christmas and A Christmas Vacation.
What about Black Christmas?
It's pretty good. It doesn't really speak.
I like
It's
this
Kevin Hart
Christmas.
is
That
in
was
it.
good.
What?
A movie called This Christmas. It was out a couple years ago.
Wow.
Family movie. It was actually really well made.
And we have a lot that's filmed in Utah. A lot of
I would say my favorite Christmas Carol, my favorite show is Christmas Carol starring Albert Finney.
Albert Finney.
That's the name. That's
man.
the name. Albert Finney.
Oh, I mean, how do we forget?
Boom, and I'm done.
Wow, he was
1970 though.
he was an Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought his portrayal was good.
Yeah. No, the best.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Muppet
Muppet Christmas Carol is amazing. It's a fantastic
It
film.
is a great Christmas movie.
And the millennials cheer.
Well, you can
I love
tell,
the Muppets.
yeah.
They're amazing.
See, mine are just, like I said, I keep saying Die Hard. It's like my Die Hard favorite. And Home Alone. Anything that's violent and family.
Do you like Fight Club?
I've got it.
Fight Club is a Christmas
Yeah,
movie.
not so much Fight Club.
Okay, so you almost have like the top 3 list of every stereotypical guy in the world.
Yeah, I do have a lot of balls.
Although the movie that
In
they
the
were
air.
filming in Scrooge, the television special they were doing with Lee Majors, that would have been a great Christmas movie.
Because I've dreamed of seeing Lee Majors as
Yes,
Lee
Scrooge.
as-
And of course, Kiss Saves Christmas.
Oh, obviously,
Obviously,
right?
great Christmas
Because
movie.
everyone knows that pterodactyl hates the sound of a screeching guitar.
It does.
Well, we should probably say Happy Holidays to everybody, although if it's President Trump, we should say Merry Christmas because he brought that up.
And
Because he's making it great again.
I'm predicting that because we're doing this well before the holidays, that one of the candidates
That's won the presidency.
and one's in jail.
There you
Well,
go.
we'll know by December 18th because he has a court date on December 16th.
Yeah, has the recount ended yet?
Yeah, I know, right?
Because it was rigged.
It's all rigged, right?
It's all right.
Everything is
We've
rigged.
covered our bases now.
Well,
President Evan McMullen, the right.
That's
You're the
right.
writing
The
candidate.
president of Utah.
I-
When
You
it
know
went
who
to the
would be
House
president?
of Representatives.
I think Morgan Freeman should be president because every time
Well,
he's
he
president,
is.
there's a disaster, and he really comes up.
He really comes through.
saves things.
All right, write him in next year.
Well, if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you contact us. You can contact us on Facebook, email us at,
Yeah, talkingpictures.tv.
right? And you can get on, that's our website. You can email us there. Tell us what your favorite holiday movie is. Who knows, we might have something for you. I am CiCi Chambers.
Chancellor Bray.
Tony Toscano.
Kurt Bestor.
See you again next week.
The Talking Pictures podcast is produced by Talking Pictures Productions. Produced by CiCi Chambers. Talking Pictures podcast distributed by Geek Factor Radio. Also on SoundCloud, Libsyn, and iTunes. Music and sound effects provided by bensound.com.